Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about one of the greatest players in NBA history, Stephen Curry. At 37 years old, most players are either retired, reduced to spot-up shooters, or clinging to the last paychecks of their career. But not Steph. The man who redefined basketball, who literally bent the game to his will with the three-point shot, is still playing at an elite level. And this isn't just about nostalgia. Curry continues to prove that age is just a number, and his story isn't finished yet. Steph Curry's summer was proof that he's more than just a player. He's a cultural force. While other veterans were resting or rehabbing, Curry was everywhere. He went on a massive tour in China where fans treated him like royalty. In cities from Beijing to Shanghai, arenas filled just to watch him warm up. Kids wore his jersey, parents pointed to him as a role model, and entire generations in Asia are learning the game through the lens of the three-point revolution that Curry created. That kind of international pull is rare. Even legends like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant didn't inspire a movement quite like this. Back in the US, Curry made headlines just for showing up at the US Open. Cameras followed him not because of basketball, but because he's reached the level where his presence alone makes news. And in North Carolina, the ultimate symbol of legacy appeared. A highway exit near his old college was named after him. Roads don't usually carry the names of athletes until long after they've retired, but Curry's impact demanded recognition now. On top of that, he was busy promoting his new book, proving his influence stretches into culture, business, and storytelling. At 37, Steph Curry isn't slowing down, he's expanding. Steph Curry's summer wasn't just about appearances and honors. It was about a statement that shook the NBA world. On the Today Show, Curry said, "I'm going into year 17, and I still believe I can be at the top of my game and win at the highest level." That's not the kind of thing you expect to hear from a 37-year-old point guard. Most players at his stage are talking about mentoring younger guys, enjoying the ride, or squeezing out the last years of their careers. But Curry wasn't talking about survival. He was talking about dominance. He was talking about championships. What makes this statement so powerful is the fact that it's believable. Steph has the resume, the numbers, and the work ethic to back it up. He's not promising something unrealistic. He's telling us that the same mindset that made him the most influential shooter in history hasn't gone away. This wasn't false bravado. It was a reminder. As long as Steph Curry is playing basketball, he's chasing greatness. That kind of declaration, in year 17, sets him apart from almost everyone who came before him. The average NBA career doesn't even last 5 years. Guards, especially smaller ones, tend to break down in their early 30s. Their legs go first. Their explosiveness fades. Their shooting touch isn't as sharp. By 35, most of them are either role players or gone entirely. But Curry, he's rewriting the rulebook. At 37, he still led the NBA in three-pointers made last season. That's insane when you consider that he's competing against a generation of players who grew up imitating him. Instead of fading, he stayed ahead of the curve. He hasn't just kept up with the younger stars. He's still setting the standard they're trying to reach. The league adjusted to his style, built rosters to mimic his influence, and yet he remains the ultimate master of the three-point game. Steph Curry isn't just defying age. He's proving that his skill set is timeless. Volume is one thing, but efficiency is another. Plenty of players can put up shots. Very few can do it with the kind of accuracy Curry has maintained. Last season, he posted the second-best free throw shooting numbers of his career. Let that sink in. His 17th year in the league, and he was still nearly perfect from the line. That's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. At his age, most players are fighting just to stay above average. Steph is still flirting with perfection. This is where Curry's greatness truly shows. His shooting touch isn't fading. His legs haven't lost their rhythm. His mechanics are as sharp as ever. While other stars are forced to reinvent their games to compensate for what they've lost, Steph doesn't need to. His game is built on precision, not power. And precision doesn't age. That's why he's still so efficient. And that's why defenders still panic every time he crosses half court. Of course, none of this would be possible without the work he puts into his body. Steph Curry's playstyle is exhausting. He's constantly moving, running off screens, cutting through traffic, darting around the perimeter. Most guards can't keep that up past their early 30s. But Curry has invested years into perfecting his conditioning, his diet, his workouts, his recovery routines. All of it is designed to keep him fresh, deep into his career. And it shows. Watch him late in games, and you don't see a tired veteran trying to conserve energy. You see a player still sprinting, still hunting for space, still pressuring defenses with endless motion. That's why defenders hate guarding him. You can play perfect defense for 20 seconds, and he'll still shake free on the 21st. That's not just skill, that's stamina, that's preparation. That's what has allowed him to keep playing like he's still in his prime. Zoom out, and the consistency is almost shocking. Steph Curry has been named to the All-NBA team 11 times when healthy. That's not just dominance, that's reliability. Year after year, he's been among the best players in the league. Injuries may have cost him some seasons, but when he's on the floor, he's never been anything less than elite. This is rare air. Very few players sustain excellence for this long. Michael Jordan had 2 separate retirements. Kobe Bryant battled major injuries late in his career. Even LeBron James, as incredible as he's been, has had to adjust his game significantly. But Curry, he's still playing the same brand of basketball he was at 27. The same movement, the same shooting, the same killer instinct. His consistency over nearly 2 decades is part of what cements him as one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. But beyond the stats and accolades, Curry's mindset might be his greatest weapon. That declaration that he can still be at the top of his game comes from a place of experience and self-awareness. He knows his body, he knows the league, he knows what it takes to win, and perhaps more importantly, he knows what it takes to lead. Steph isn't motivated by chasing personal numbers anymore. He's motivated by legacy, by championships, by the chance to prove once again that the Warriors can still rise to the top with him as their leader. That kind of clarity keeps him sharp, it keeps him hungry, it keeps him dangerous. Because while other veterans are content to fade gracefully into retirement, Curry is still fighting to add to his story. And that mental edge makes him just as lethal as his shooting. Of course, basketball isn't tennis. It's not golf. Steph Curry can't win a championship by himself. As much as he can carry a team, the Warriors' future depends on the support around him. Analysts have said it clearly. Golden State needs a third star, someone to lighten the load, someone to step up when defenses focus everything on Curry. Draymond Green is still a brilliant facilitator, but he's not a scorer. Klay Thompson's role has diminished. That leaves a gap the Warriors have to fill if they want to maximize the final chapters of Curry's prime. This is where the pressure shifts from Steph to the organization, because as great as he is, he can't do it alone. If Golden State wants to see him raise another trophy, they have to give him the help he deserves, and the clock is ticking. Right now, that help is supposed to come from Jonathan Kuminga, drafted to be part of the Warriors' future. Kuminga has shown flashes of brilliance, athleticism, scoring potential, defensive upside, but his role has been inconsistent. Some nights, he looks like the breakout star the Warriors need. Other nights, he disappears. Add in the fact that his contract situation has become a distraction, and suddenly, his future with the team feels uncertain. The truth is, Kuminga might be the swing factor. If he develops into the star Golden State envisioned, Steph has the partner he needs. If not, the Warriors may have to make the tough decision to move him for a proven veteran. Either way, his situation matters, because Curry's championship window won't stay open forever, and the Warriors can't afford to waste it waiting. And that brings us to the ultimate goal. Steph Curry isn't satisfied with 4 championships. He wants 5. Winning another would put him alongside Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Magic Johnson. It would push his legacy into another stratosphere. And here's the wild part. It's still realistic. He's still the best shooter in the world. He's still the engine of his team. He's still capable of carrying the Warriors on any given night. Every season from here on out is about legacy, about history, about proving that even in year 17, Curry can still be the difference maker on a championship team. And if he pulls it off, we're looking at one of the greatest careers not just in NBA history, but in all of sports. At 37 years old, Stephen Curry isn't slowing down. He isn't fading away. He's still rewriting the rules of what's possible for a guard, for a shooter, for a superstar in the NBA. He's still breaking records, still defying age, still chasing rings. And whether or not he wins that 5th championship, his longevity alone is a legacy. He's shown the world that precision, preparation, and belief can keep you at the top far longer than anyone imagined. So the question isn't whether Steph Curry is still great. The question is, how much greater can he become before it's all over? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown like this one.